Afternoon everyone, it's Carol here at Oak House Journals. I've got my paper in front of me ready to do my assignment for Margarete Miller's Collage Weekly Planner project, and I'm going to do assignment number 10 today. So as always, I've got my lightweight cardstock with my border already marked out in pencil. The prompts for this assignment, assignment number 10, as I've said, is something related to a sport. So I fussy cut out this image of a jockey or a rider on a horse. Originally I was going to just use the image of her and have her sailing over a gate, but I decided to keep the horse in as well. The second prompt is a gate or a fence. Now, as you can see, this is the fence that she should have been jumping over. So if I pop that like that, you can see that's what she was supposed to be doing. So I fussy cut this out as well, but I'm thinking that I also might like to test out this image of a gate. And I can find the image. Where are we? Here we go. This image here, and see what that looks like before I make my mind up, because equally she could be jumping over that, and it's a gate, so it would hit the prompt as much as this one would. So I'm going to cut that out and audition it in a minute. The next prompt is a line of poetry or a song. I wasn't too sure about this one, whether it meant a line of poetry or a line of a song, or whether it meant a line of poetry or a complete song. So I've decided to go with the latter interpretation. I mean, there's no collage police on these assignments, I know, but I like to try and get them right at least. So anyway, I'm going with the interpretation that I can use a full song. And I've got a page here, or a couple of pages here, out of a Rabbie Burns book, and this one is Oh Lassie, Art Thou Sleeping Yet? So I thought I would use that. And the next prompt is numbers. Well, this was just a piece that came out of the Sunday supplement for my newspaper last weekend, and I thought I could make use of these numbers, and I particularly like the fact that they're on a nice grey, soft grey background with this lovely colouring, so I thought that would keep it all quite light on my collage this week. The next prompt is an old sticky note. Well, I have these sitting around in my craft room. I use them when I think of an idea for my prompts, actually, or for future prompts. I jot down what my idea is and stick it onto the list, so that I know that when I come to do it, I had that idea and I could potentially use it or not, as the case may be. So they aren't written on, but they are very old because I used them all last year, and I'm down to these two little packs here. So I will be using one of these, maybe two of these, on the collage. And finally, a bonus, something that starts with the letter C. I've got here a flower that I fussy cut, and I haven't actually cut it all out. As you can see, there's a couple of little white bits. This is a camellia, and it should look something like this, if I can remember how it went. Yeah, it went something like, oh gosh, can't remember now. Well, I don't suppose it really matters how. Oh, I think that's round the other way. That's it. So it went something like that, and this piece was like that there. But these were very, very delicate, and this bit came apart, and so did this bit. So I may well be using bits or all of that on my collage this week. And as I mentioned, this is a Camellia japonica. Okay, so let's get started. If I bring back in my piece of paper here, and I'm thinking that I will trim the vintage book page down so that it fits inside my border, perhaps have it going down the left hand side with this line coming down the edge of my border, and this top line up here meeting up with that line of the page. And I'm probably going to rip that away, it won't be left like that, and then have this bit kind of further down. So that's my first job, and I'm also going to rip out this image here. So I'm going to see if I can take it straight down there. Obviously I don't want this lovely Molly Moo cow in the picture. For now, I think I'm going to leave that and just concentrate on this. So I'm going to trim this to size and come back when that's done. Also trim this to size. Obviously I don't want this white border, so that's got to go. And I'm thinking I might just have it on my page with the writing coming up to the border here, maybe with a little bit of the grey showing. So I'll get on and get that done as well. So as you can see, I've trimmed down the border from around the outside of the book page, and I've ripped across this piece and just flipped it round because I thought that I could try and match it up and have a piece that was going to be long enough for my page. I don't want this bit of border down here, so I'm just going to trim that off. Originally I thought that I would line everything up with the inside of my border on my page, but now I'm thinking I'm going to pull it in slightly. So I'm going to have this like so, maybe a bit higher up now that I've got that bottom bit trimmed off. I'm just trying to get it so that the lettering doesn't look too strange. Maybe something like that I can get away with. So slightly in from the border. And then this one, I've trimmed away the white border, but I needed to come in a bit more. So I've actually trimmed away the white border and 2 centimeters off this right hand edge. And I'm thinking that I'm just going to have that underneath here and again in from the edge, something like that. And where's my fence or my gate? This I'm thinking I'm going to use the gate to, whoops-a-daisy, that's just gone skew-if for me. This one does need trimming down a bit more. Let me move that to one side, because I'm thinking that I would like to have that this bit level with the top of the 13 there, which means I've got to trim this along the bottom. So before I go any further, let me just offer this up. I'm thinking I'll take away the bottom down there and just maybe have it over the top like that. I'm obviously going to need to get rid of, what was her name, Molly Moo, I think the cow was called. Then I thought I would have my horse at an angle to get it over the top of my gate, or I could have it that way as if she's coming down again. I think she's actually going over the top, if I'm honest, something like that. Anyway, I can play with that. So I know that I'm happy with that. Let me have a look at using this, because I could actually do something like that. Ooh, actually, you know, I might be liking that a little bit better. Seems less heavy. I'm preferring that actually. Okay, let me trim this border to size, so I know where I'm going with that. I'm going to glue this piece in place so that I know what size or what height I'm working to. Okay, so I'm just going to hold my finger there, grab my glue. Let's pull this one in now. So that's 2 of my prompts in place, and I'm going to just rip across the bottom here with my ruler. Just going to rip across the top of the gate. As I say, I don't know if I'm using this yet, but I just want to see what it's like in place. So I thought I could have something like that on there like that. This is too tall, so I could maybe take away the bottom of the gate. Let's just have a play with these camellias. Do something like that. Maybe have that going across the top like that. And just use the flower there on that one. Okay. I'm not averse to this, and having the flowers going outside the edge. This is definitely too big. let's just swap it out and put this in like that. I could have that behind there and have that sort of masking the tear line. I could have this down at the bottom here somehow, perhaps with this over the top, something like that. I could bring that into play as well. Not sure which one I'm liking the best now. I still got my post-it note to use, but I am thinking this gate is too big, so I'm going to rip a portion of this away and see if I like it any better with the size reduced. I'm wondering about reducing the whole size of everything, to be honest, so that I've got something like this and have the post-it note in there like that. So let me just try reducing it down even more. Let's see what that looks like. So let's have that kind of like that like that, pull that way down, and that like that. Do you know, I think I like that better. So I could have my camellia down at the bottom there. I'm liking that better, everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim underneath the 16. What I've done is I've trimmed this back piece down quite considerably, and I'm just loving the arrangement that I've got here. I did swap this in a couple of times to see if I liked it any better, and yes, it gave me a much cleaner line, but it didn't feel like a collage, whereas using this one does. What I think I will do is I will rip this down here and reduce the size of this piece. And also what I think I'll do is I'll move the post-it note so that it is actually covering that line there. I'm liking the camellias just arranged around the bottom, so I'm going to go with this arrangement, and let's do this first. So I'm just going to cover that up like that. Can't say why I want to do that, I just feel like I need to do that. So I'm going to have that there like that. I'm not going to tear that away just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it back and have a look and see if I like it, and I think I do already. And I'm thinking something like that there. Then I've got my horse across here, maybe a little bit higher for that. Let's move that out of the way. And I'm liking that her feet are just underneath the top of my post-it note up there. Not bothered about the torn edge along the top here, but I might actually straighten that edge up on the guillotine. So something like that. Gives me more of the post-it note showing. These I will rearrange, but I'm thinking of having these slightly on and off this background piece that I've created. Maybe pull it up even higher like that and have this dotted around on here. This bit is hanging on by an absolute thread. Got a little bit of the stalk left on that one, so let's take that away. So I'm thinking maybe something like that. And then with this, rather than waste it, I thought I might just continue with it underneath. Try and have my 16%, is it 1.6% showing down there. I've still got that showing there. Sorry, the other number showing there. So I was thinking maybe I could just tuck it up like that. And I think I'm going to go with that arrangement, everybody. So I'm going to actually trim off this edge here and this edge here on my guillotine, and then get everything glued together. Okay, so there we go everybody, let's get the prompts and have a look. So something related to sport, well I've got my little rider there and obviously her horse. A gate or a fence, well I went with a gate, a printed image of a gate out of a child's nursery rhyme book. A line of poetry or a song, well I went with this Robbie Burns song or ballad in the back here on some vintage paper. Numbers, well I've got some numbers there and partial numbers there and there. An old sticky note, well I've got this pink one in the background there, and something that starts with the letter C, well I've got my Camellia japonicas down here. I am wondering whether to put something in that area there at the moment. That's giving me a little bit of pause, so let me have a think about that. I've just got out my little tin of number stickers and I think I'm going to put this figure 6 in this area here, cover up those numbers down there and make a real feature of this one. It's very bold, it's very in your face, but the black is picking up the black up here on the horse. So I think it serves almost to pull down the focal image here, or your eyes from the focal image down the page a little bit, and that's what I'm hoping is the case for you guys as well. So I'm just going to pop that away. I auditioned 1 or 2 of the numbers and I'm liking this 6 better. It's giving a better coverage in this area here, and what I was looking for was trying to get the number. Let me just get this backing off if I can. I was trying to get the number to cover not only the leaves, a little bit of the edge of this image here of the gate and obviously this, but also to cover up the whole of that. Now it's not going to do it completely because these are slightly transparent washi stickers. So there we go everybody, that's my finished piece for this week. I hope you enjoyed seeing it come together, and I hope you'll join me for assignment number 11 next week. So until then, have a good week crafting and take care. Bye from me.